Right, moving on now. Right, we mentioned in the last lesson the applications that reside on the server. We mentioned the two acronyms, LAMP and WAMP. We said LAMP stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. Linux being the operating system used on the server. The Apache is the application server, which translates the PHP code into the HTML output. MySQL database, which stores the data, user data, and so on, and it's used for updating, retrieving, and all that stuff. Yeah, with the database. And PHP is the scripting language used to develop dynamic web-based applications. And we'll be covering that in more detail. The HTML being the basic formatting of the page and so on. Okay. Now we're going to introduce a couple more acronyms here. There's IDE and there's WYSIWYG. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. WYSIWYG is what you see is what you get. That's what it stands for. Okay. Now there's a couple of applications we're going to mention in the WYSIWYG section. One being Microsoft Front Page, which is a very basic application used to develop websites, and also Dreamweaver as well. And basically what that does, you design the whole thing you put the tables, you paragraph, you indent text, and you select the fonts that you want and so on, and insert the pictures, everything, and then it would convert it into the HTML code, which then you can upload onto the server and so on. And it has a built-in file transfer mechanism, which helps you to transfer the files. Once you've actually done the site itself, you can just upload it onto the server. Okay. Now there's, like I was just mentioning here, file transfer. Okay, there's the second protocol. We mentioned the HTTP being Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is used for the client and the server. So the client would request something from the server. We mentioned a GET and a POST, and the server would send back the file that the client was requesting as a HTML file. Now FTP is used more on the development side now. Okay, so now you develop the site, you can upload it. You upload it using that protocol, which is FTP. So you would transfer the file, and you would download the file again. You work on the code again, and you upload it again to the server, and so on. Okay, so that's the second protocol. Now, to make life a lot simpler and for everyone to follow and benefit from this course, what I decided to do is to develop most of the code in applications that everyone has. Okay, so in Windows you've got Notepad and you've got WordPad. Not everyone has Front Page or Dreamweaver, although you can download them for free on a trial basis, and then once you're finished with it you can either buy it or whatever. But I personally don't use much Front Page or Dreamweaver. Most of what I do is through Notepad and WordPad and the next application I'm going to talk about. Okay. Now for FTP purposes, I personally use Qt FTP. I'm going to write it somewhere here. Qt FTP. Okay. They offer you 30 days trial, so you can actually download Qt FTP and use it, and we're going to do that in a minute as well. Now Qt FTP is brilliant from my point of view, and the other one is WebDrive. Okay, these are just two common FTP applications. Okay, so once you've done the code, you can upload it. But what Qt FTP does, it has a built-in editor, or IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So what you can actually do, you can actually write everything in Qt FTP. Once you've finished all the code, you save it, and it's saved on the server. You don't need to actually send it across, or you can actually write the code, save it onto your hard drive, your computer, and then transfer it within the same program. So you don't actually need to load a different program or transfer it or open up your server and then transfer the files. Everything is in one, so you can actually see it real time, and then you can go to the browser straight away and see the result straight away. So Qt FTP is one of the best, if not the best, applications for file transfers and developing websites and so on. Okay, it doesn't have all the fancy stuff that Front Page or Dreamweaver has, such as you design the whole site and then it converts into HTML. It doesn't have that, so you have to do hard coding in Qt FTP. Okay, so that's basically in a nutshell that course here, that lesson here. And in the next lesson we'll be going onto the computer and we'll be practicing or going through the basics of installing Qt-FTP and the basics of that, as well as we'll be writing a few PHP scripts and testing it on the server and so on. So most of the next section will be on the computer, so we'll be looking at the screen most of the time instead of me standing here and talking. Okay, look forward to seeing you again.